Welcome to the Trauma Unit Podcast. This is your host, John. This is a continuance of our last episode having to deal with black feelings. So many things have happened since the last time I've talked to you. So many people have transitioned, and we just like to take a moment of silence. For those that have transitioned, may you find peace and solitude. Ashe. All right now. So we have our first topic, which is work and relations. Now, those two things could be brother and sister, mother and father. They're very close, they're very similar, but they're not the same, but they are the same. So I can talk about those two and reference them both so that you have a good idea that there are connections and parallels without talking about one directly. And I think that's the best way to compare topics. So when you're working a job, you're trying your hardest, you're trying to show your worth. 9 times out of 10, if you're in a job that is fresh and brand new and is paying good, they're usually building it from ground up because they don't know any better. And their laws surrounding payment, they like to appreciate their worker. And that's how all good companies start. But eventually, there's feelings and emotions that eventually transfer you into being disposable or replaced or eliminated and consolidated into another position. So why is it that the key players get forgot about instead of the stars? You know, I feel like key players have a very important role in which they serve at a job. The way they uncomfortably elevate others because they know they have a role to play. But it's very key. Their role is very key. And their effort is always unmatched. Why is it that somebody who is a key player or a role player, their effort is unmatched and it goes unrecognized? Almost being taken for granted on a daily basis. You know? And at that point, you have to separate the real from what's fake. I know it's very hard, and I know most of the time, I personally, take it very hard when I have to separate the real from the fake and push one to either side, and then you eventually realize that you're left with nothing. But sometimes nothing is more than what other people got, because you have nothing for the moment. You've never been in a predicament or a situation where nothing has ever came. Most people absolutely haven't tasted most people actually haven't tasted what the fruit of life really has to offer for them. And for somebody to say they've had nothing, they've had something before in their lifetime. So I think about that. I let it resonate with me, and I really think, why do people have unethical practices in their job? Why is it that racism can come to the ceiling or come to fruition so fast? Why is it that we pick favorites at a job? Most people are going to be at a loss anyway once you pick a favorite, or you allow somebody who can do a certain task to be elevated but can't perform all tasks. Because that's somebody that you would put in the front that can do all tasks and can't complete some tasks good, So this transitions to my next topic, which is faith. Something you can't see, something you can feel. Right now, we're dealing with something that we can see, but something that everyone can feel as a totality. Everybody cannot feel what we're going through at this point in time of the earth. So it's almost like faith on both sides. And are you really ready to deal with the faith that other people have surrounding subjects that affect us all daily? You know, I think we go around discounting each other's faith a lot. You know, it's heartbreaking for all of us, whether you're the opposition or not. So I would say recognize the hurting that other people are going through, and that might help you get a better idea in totality of what's really going on with yourself when you recognize that somebody else could possibly be going through something the same, or if not worse, because everybody has a thought process in which they build their beliefs and their faiths. Everybody's hurting, and it's not only that you're fighting, you're struggling. You're struggling to survive in a thought process that was created for you. And will you be willing to live, you know, past your struggle? I think a lot of people have been faced with that, and I don't think a lot of people have made it out, you know, fighting through their struggles, you know, surrounding faith. The representation of faith is supporting things that you don't see, and other people's blind faith in other places needs to be respected. So I would say respect other people's faith, because their faith is their struggle. The definition of faith is complete trust or confidence in someone or something. That's pretty deep. So when you really get to the basis of it, you know, you really understand that pushing through isn't always the easiest thing, because you're doing it on your own faith and your own beliefs, you know? And I can understand that some faith is built through contrition, somebody else showing forgiveness or repentance of what they done to you, and you feel like, yes, they're being punished based on my faith, because I knew that they were going to receive some type of punishment for what they've done because I wanted it. It's not what faith is about. You can't combine your selfish ego with that. And I feel like a lot of black people, we do that. You know, we have a combined faith that something should happen to those who do us wrong immediately. And you have to have faith that time is really going to run its race. We can't argue with time. We can't fight time. Time is going to happen naturally, whether we try to stop it or not. And as we go through our short moments, we have to realize that the world is spinning continuously. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep flourishing. Things are going to keep dying. Things are going to keep living. You know? So I say that surrounded by the feelings that we are having as African Americans or minority or the majority, we have to be very careful of what we put in our own personal diet, whether it be food, whether it be negativity, positivity, imagination. There's so many things that you can incorporate in your diet that will take you out personally or uplift you in a time of need. The diet is important, y'all. So extremely important, to the point where, what is your body? Your body is a vessel receiving all these things that you're incorporating completely. It is completely absorbing all the things you intake in your body on a personal level. So I say that to tell you, please be aware of the things that you're doing when you're intaking these things in your body. Be aware. Be very aware. because these things could come back to haunt you when you didn't even know there was a possibility of you being haunted. Ain't that a shame? How you gonna get haunted by the very things that you're not haunted by? You know? Or something that seems less of an enemy, you know? So I would say holding on to that stuff on your very inside, the pits of your own stomach, you need to find a healthy way to release all that stress, all that pain, all that love. You got to release it. You got to dump it, because sometimes or more than likely, you're combining old love with new love, and one love got to go. One pain got to go. Combined pains will take you out faster than anything in this world. You know what I'm saying? So I would say write down the things and the ways that you release. I know there's not many with COVID going on. I know there's not many with your, you being judged the way you walk out with the mask across your black skin, or across your minority skin, or your majority skin. To be very honest, we all angry. But how are we releasing that anger? We got to release this pain. We have to release this love. We have to release anything that doesn't belong to us, really. And the things that belong to you are the very things that you wake up with. The ability to breathe, the ability to smell. These very things, touch, sight, the way you listen, these are the very things that you own. You don't own anything else outside of that. Everything else is temporary. So if we're not learning how to respectively release things, we're going to hold on to everything we got, and we're going to become hoarders. Hoarders of all those things that need to be released, and new things need to come in. I say all these things, and all these things tie into the black feelings, but these things are what the community is feeling. At the end of the day, you have a way to preserve your journey in a longer way that will build you, a longer way that will fulfill the needs that you have and those around you have, to inspire those to go upon that journey. But all these things are tied into black feelings, whether it be work and relations, and it be your faith, and it be your diet. All these things that we don't talk about within the African American, or within the minority, or within the black man. We need to do these things. We need to understand why these feelings matter to us. I know I probably go up and down, but it's easy to find if you're experiencing these things. I just like for the information to be raw and for it to be fluid, so I understand where I'm coming from when I listen to this, and the mindset that I'm trying to get into. It's my journey as well as it is your journey. These journeys are two alike, because these journeys don't have a particular place to be at a certain time. So I will end it on that and just say, this is the Trauma Unit, part 2 of Black Feelings and Emotions. And at this point, it's everybody's feelings. We might as well all walk out the house and be black, because the feelings are too exact. I say hello, good morning, hello, good evening, and good night. This is your host from the most, John. And you can find me on social media as Facts or Russ. Y'all take care. Much love, much respect, peace, and ashe.